Hello everybody, it's me, Qorbane, back again with another time. We're going to be talking about my Bard AOE build. So I did a video about my Bard already, but I figured I'd do an update since it's been a while. And we're going to go over the Bard and talk about his AOE abilities and stuff like that. Now this is a DPS version, so this is not a healer Bard. And I went straight AOE because I like AOE damage and clearing out mobs. So, let's go over him real quick. On this one, I'm wearing the stamina, the accuracy headpiece. I like this headpiece an awful lot. You can get it pretty easily. If you haven't been using it, it's a pretty good one to use, so I'd always recommend taking a look at it. It's really, and it helps out a lot. For my chest piece, I'm using the Crimson Scale Breaker. I like this chest piece a lot. I don't have the Bone Devil's Ribcage for this character yet. It's yet another character I'd like to get that on, but for right now I'm just using it. For my gloves, I went with the Spike Defender Vimbraces. Yet again, overall, just a really good piece of gloves or piece of armor for your gloves slot. Can't really go wrong with extra damage. For the weapon set, I'm using the Lionheart set on this character. I'm working on the Mirage set, but I've got the Lionheart set pretty easily, so I picked it up and decided to use it for a while to see how it worked, because I wanted to test out the ability of the Lionheart set. As you can see, it's down here when you have the two-piece set, increases damage dealt and outgoing healing by 7.5% when your stamina is full. So I was giving it a try to see how I liked it as compared to the other sets, but so far I really liked it. Rusted Iron Leggings on this character, yet again another 5% damage increase. So if this is working and this is working, that's just 7.5 plus 5 is 12.5, so that's pretty good damage increase just right there. And when this one kicks in, that's an extra 5. So that's pretty good. For my artifacts, I'm using the Demogorgon as my summon artifact. Can't go wrong with extra damage. I have the Myth to do much combat advantage with this character, so I put it off to the side. It's just one of my artifact sets that I use. I really like the Sigil of the Bard because of the Forte and the stamina regeneration. Yet again, this one has stamina regeneration, so that was, I thought, pretty good for this. And I use the Book of Vile Darkness because this is the artifact set I use. For my trousers, I have the Veil trousers. I like those. They're pretty easy. Stamina regeneration, speed, and good offensive abilities. You can't really go wrong with crit severity. Crit avoidance is okay, I guess, but whatever. I use the Torn Shirt of the Dragon Cult for the 5% combat advantage, plus it gives combat advantage, a recharge speed. It's always good. This is the Ares. It's part of the Veil, or the Dark Remnant set, which is from Vile Darkness. And the reason I use that is it is just a flat 2.5% damage increase. There's no hoops I have to drive through, no critical hits I have to make, nothing. It's just 2.5%. So with this, with the boots, with the Lionheart, with the gloves, I'm starting to get a pretty good spike to my damage increase just off of that. I also use the Leading Ring of the Sage. It's got the tit for tat with 3% increase more damage. I use 2 of them because you can stack, from what I understand, the tit for tat twice, but you can't do it 3 times. So I've got it twice, so that's an extra 6% damage increase, plus it increases my combat advantage. And this is the Engine Master's Mantle, which is the 3rd and final piece of the Dark Remnant set to complete my go. I have combat advantage on my reinforcements on this side, and on the other side I use a mixture of crit severity primarily, but there is a Crit Strike mixed in there to help with my numbers. Stat-wise, as you see, I sit here with 70,000 item level. My power's up pretty good. Actually, it's low, but I really had to make a sacrifice someplace, and accuracy seemed to be the one that got the hack. Combat advantage at 63.1%. My crit strike at 62.2%. My crit severity at 70.4%. All those mid-range numbers. They're all over. These ones are over 50, so they're doing pretty good. And they increase a bit whenever I utilize my potions and stuff. Enchantment-wise, I use all power, or power. There's a crit strike and an accuracy, but I'm probably going to swipe this one out for one of the other ones if I have crit severity one, just to boost my crit severity up to where it's a little bit higher, since the accuracy so far it doesn't really matter. My Garnet for more Forte, and all power on this side. I like the Cursed Burn, although I know that it's probably technically better. I still prefer the Cursed Burn because, I don't know, it's just preference. The 50% movement, and another reason why I use this is right there for the increased damage by 10%. It's another boost to damage. And this one is another boost to damage. So I'm going with a lot of boost damage, if you can't tell. Appearance is whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. Power-wise, I go with the Con Elemento still. That's my primary attack. It's my at-will. I use it more than any other attack. I use it in conjunction with my song, the Tailwind Mambo, which converts the Con Elemento into the Tailwind Mambo, which is my primary attack. The Staccata is my other at-will, and I use it just if something gets close and up, or I just need to poke something real quick. My Duet is one of my best encounters. You do it all the time as much as possible. It's just a jump up in the air and you do a swirl attack and hit all your enemies. It's a really good AOE attack. Ad Libitum is a poke 'em when they get too close attack. It's pretty effective, and well, I like it. And plus, it can go off really fast. And Volti Subito is my other one. It's a good follow-up if you get away with this one. Plus, it does a good amount of damage as you swirl through your opponents. For my dailies, I use Inspiration and Lore. I honestly don't use my dailies very often as a bard. I don't feel that they do anything really too much. Some builds out there that can really stack around this lore because it seems very effective, but I just haven't. The songs are all pinned just because I use them primarily. This is the only one is the Tailwind Mambo. If I'm out of combat and I'm needing to heal up, the Rejuvenating Carol's pretty good, but for the most part, I just use this one. For class features, I use this one. I can't even begin to pronounce this one. It's Sorvazando, or whatever it is. I don't speak whatever language that is. Pronounce that, I can't. So just bear with me and know it's the fourth one on your bar. Whenever you play your song in combat, it gives you an extra 5% damage. The other one I use is the Advancing Blade. It's just a good one because it tails with your at-wills, so it's a good one to have on there. I haven't wrong with any of the other ones. They're all pretty good abilities, so it's whatever you find is most effective for you and that you enjoy. I used Soloist for a long time because I just thought this was a good one because you stay away from your party members because you're a ranged one, so this one kind of helps. The backup performer, to help with my rejuvenating Carol whenever I'm on downtime. The Elemental Medley, because it helps with your Konmoto, which is your Tailwind Mambo, and adds more damage. It helps when you're in teams to increase damage, and helps with the other party members, and it's just better than this one. This one, just because the other two right here, they all require you to have your slots where you don't quick play them, so you have to play them just while you're in the middle of combat. As a primarily solo player, I don't really have. My fingers aren't quick enough to just blot out this really super fast, so I like to use my slotted powers. So it just didn't make any sense to use these ones, so I just use these. They all help, they're all good, and they add more damage. So that's primarily what I was looking for, was to add more damage. Boons are boons. Follow your offense all the way up. This one is just preference. Let's see, if I remember right, this one right here, the Bloodlust, is what most people say is the best one. I don't know, I still go with this one. It's still my favorite. It's just 2%, it's 2%. I like the flat numbers, so I always go with that. Companion-wise, I'm running with an Augment. I like the Augment companions because they help boost my numbers. If you use the summon ones are really cool. Just get you a good summon one, you can have him out there, but your numbers are hard to get up whenever you're that. But if you're okay with staying down below item levels and in the lower 60s, then it's really easy to keep your numbers up really high if you use a summoned. But I wanted to get my item level higher to do more damage, so this one I went with the Augment and then boosted my item level up as best I could. So I went with the Icosahedron, which is what I call the D20 Ion Stone, because to me that's what it looks like. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, and I call it the Great Smasher. He's my favorite one of them. I like this one or Winnie the Hoot, which is the Owlbear Cub. You see me running around with him a lot, and then that's primarily he looks like, having him running around with me. In combat, I like the Icosahedron better for the power and accuracy and everything. You help my crit strike. For my slotted ones, the Neverwinter Knight is 7.5% damage increase. There goes with my theme again. The Golden Cat for more combat advantage, Black Dragon Ion Stone for more crit chance, Baby Deep Crow for power, and the Witch that gives you campaign currency and Dragon Run Veil, but I just got her in there for the power and crit chance. You could use the Ghost or whatever you want. Does the same thing, or it's whatever you need to fill your slot. I was trying to get my crit chance up higher, so that's why this one fell in. Eventually, I'd like to get Minsk on this character, and I'll fit Minsk in here someplace, and we'll help out with that, because, yet again, Minsk is more damage, and who doesn't like Minsk? I mean, come on. Everybody likes Minsk. Mount-wise, I have all legendary and hand. Gone for the mythic route yet. I like dominance, skill, and brutality for the most part on everything. I probably need to switch out a couple of these for more brutal, but I just haven't done it yet, or more dominance. I haven't really figured out if I like dominance better than brutality, or if I like brutality better than dominance, because everything keys so well off of Forte. It's just a preference in trying to fix your numbers. But I use Gladiator's Guile to help yet again with because I want to keep up with my Lionheart set. The Artifact one to help me get my cooldowns faster. Berserker's Rage because I very seldom ever use my daily, so my daily's usually always full of my action points. So that's an extra 2,500 crit strike, and it helps with deflection whenever I do use my daily, but I don't use it very often. And combat maneuvers, after controlling an enemy, gain combat advantage. I don't know if I ever have any ability that controls them. This one's kind of a remnant left over from just from me having the Insignias, but it's in there. I don't know. I'll probably ask for something else if I ever get around to it. I just haven't done that yet. I like the spiders because I'm a drow. I don't know, preference. Uh, I like Magnificent Inspiration. I like the Pegasus. It's my favorite of the attacks. There's one's better, I'm sure, but it's my favorite, so it's the one I use. Plus, my allies gain 15% forte, so that's always good. And more damage. Ferocious Predator to get me my power and crit severity, and that widens them all out. And that ends up with my numbers coming in with this being like that. Now, if I use my Forger's box, my power caps out at 90, so that's trying to get my power up there was one of the key things, and I got my power to 90%. The one I have at 90% is the highest one that I get, but all in all, that's my damage output, and he does fairly well. Goes. I do have an awful lot of fun with this character just because you don't see very many bards running around, and I think that's a shame. I hope they do some upgrades, and the upgrades that they do on the bard help bring him more into play, because he's a lot of fun to play. And the damage dealing wise, you can just sit back here and just throw things. You see, granted I'm in a low area, but he just does a lot of damage. And rogue, and he's no barbarian and everything like that, I know, but they are still an awful lot of fun to play. So I always make it as if you want to play a good ranged attacker, the bard seems to be pretty good at that. So I like him. And so that's my take on the Bard AOE attacker, and I hope it helped you out, and I hope you liked the video, and if I give you any good ideas, that's a bonus for me. So keep playing your bards and having fun with them. We'll point out one thing that I did have an awful lot of fun doing with a bard. If you don't care about your stats getting up to 90%, you don't care about doing any of that, you just want to have some fun with it, the Vicious Direwolf is a lot of fun because he can targets. It's just a 10% chance on power use to interrupt a target, which means sometimes whenever a target's getting ready to do a big attack or getting ready to do something, it stops them. So it's a lot of fun to see that stuttering around when you're in a team and you're throwing those out there and you're hitting everything. Just stunning or kind of stopping your opponents is a lot of fun. Same way goes with the Manticore. Is a lot of fun. I use the Manticore an awful lot whenever I'm running around there. Just 50% chance on a critical hit to knock down your target. If you have something out there that's raising your crit, that's a really fun one to have on there. Sometimes whenever if I'm doing it too, I also, I don't know how well effective it is, but the poisoning, it does a lot of magnitude damage. You can really slot out a lot of your abilities to just do magnitude damages on hits, like Zuna, 10% chance to poison a target for 150 magnitude damage. There's also they burn, combust, and set things on fire, but they all do it at a percent chance, and your attacks fly out so fast that you can really stack up these things really quick, especially in large masses, because you attack so quick, because a lot of your powers help reboot your powers to go off faster, like your primary attack will cause your spinning attack to recharge faster and go quicker, so you could do these attacks a lot faster. So when you have your attacks going so quick, the 10% chance is pretty often. So you could flat out a lot of fast. So, but I was just going with percentages and just boosting my damages up as high as I could get to see how high I could get my damage boost going with all my attacks. So that's the build I'm currently going with. Things may change whenever I get my Bone Devil's Rim Cage. I'm going to work on that at some point for my Barbarian and for my Bard and for my Rogue. So we'll see. But that's what I got for now. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. and hopefully I'll get to see more bards out there having a good time. So the Great Smasher and I say good night. Good night.